What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, Daniel Dubois put the work in, dismantled, Jarell Miller. Now, if you like the fight, hey, that's all good. Jarell Miller, sloppy, slow feet, wild, lunging type punches, no game plan, no plan B, no plan C. Only game plan is just basically come forward and just depend on his size and his weight. He can't box really. He basically just comes with pressure. Now that's his style. Jarell Miller is a whole different weight class. The man came in at 330 pounds, and I'm saying, see, people might think that's impressive, but if you basically, like Dubois, he was pushing him a lot and like stand in front of him, and he basically showed that, hey, I can handle this guy. And I thought that he should be able to beat Jarell Miller. I never was impressed by Jarell Miller. Jarell Miller just has a big mouth, says a lot of goofy shit. He ends up talking about how you got my respect and all that and whatever. Okay, well, at least he said that, but at the end of the day, he pretty much came in there so big, and I'm like, man, you can have this dude huffing and puffing all over the place if you, come on, man. Movement, lateral movement, stick that jab in his face. If, in all honesty, he might have knocked him out. Like straight up before the 10th round when he hurt him and the ref stopped it, he might have knocked him out a little sooner had he been jabbing more. He was using his jabs at times. He was throwing power shots, but to negate having to wrestle with him so much, movement, jab in his face, double, triple, move. You control when you're ready to punch, when you're not. All he's doing is walking around. Jarell Miller used to throw, 80 punches around. Can't do that shit anymore. He can't do that anymore. And the fact that he throws all arm punches and slaps, he doesn't sit down on his punches. The hardest punches he throw, if you watch him, is his left, pretty much is his right or his left hook when he throws it, because he wings it and he tries to lean forward with his weight. And basically, other than that, he has no real technique. So, nobody calls him a weight bully. You even have what you call, like, if Deontay Wilder, he could actually be, he's actual Bridgerweight now, right? 214, right? Anyway, who cares about that division? But just looking at it, Dubois was 233, they said, something like that. Look how tiny he looked in there against Jarell Miller, right? So this dude is fighting the guy in a whole nother division. There's just no such thing as a super heavyweight division. But technically, weight-wise, come on, 330 versus 230. So you understand what I'm saying? You basically was fighting a guy that was a whole 100 pounds heavier than you are, and he still went in and did what he did. Jarell Miller, in all honesty, he's not good for boxing, man. He's about trying to make his money, trying to make everybody look soft. He tries to intimidate people. He takes pride in trying to be a bully, but he got his ass whooped. And that's why he talks so much shit about Anthony Joshua, is to keep his name, try to get his name relevant, try to keep his name being talked about. Feel like he was gonna, beat up on some lesser opponents like he did when he had 4 fights with lesser guys, and feel like he's gonna keep talking Anthony Joshua's name and end up in a fight that he didn't earn. Well, Dubois put a stop to all of that last night, and shout out to Dubois, because Dubois basically, he went in there and got the win that he needed. Now, it was more of a brawl. It was it's not that it was a bad fight. I don't think it was just like, the fact of the matter is, he got the job done. And that, I just don't like Miller's style, but I'm glad that Dubois was in front of him and wouldn't let him manhandle him. But like I said, the jab and some lateral movement and angles would have made it a little easier for him, but he did what he did, and he looked good doing it. I remember him, one of those rounds, might have been like the 3rd or the 4th or something, he got caught like with some shots towards the end of the round. And automatically the commentators, like, you can tell they was expecting Miller to like wear Dubois down and felt like he was going to wind up winning, and that's not what happened. Look, I watched Vladimir Klitschko lose to Corey Sanders and Layman Brewster, and 11 fucking years later, people still bringing those. I mean, the motherfucker just dominating, winning, fight after fight. All those years later, he's on top. In every fight, they kept bringing up the fact that he lost to Layman Brewster, the fact that he lost to Corey Sanders. Like, you just never know. They just kept bringing it up, and it's like every fight. So no matter how much improvement he made, and no matter how dominant he was, Klitschko boxed, and people started this, oh, he's boring. Well, why? How can you let a boring fighter beat you? So, the same with Dubois is like, no matter how long he fights, there's always somebody that wants to bring up what happened, in the fight against Joe Joyce, in the fight against Usyk, as if, like, you never know it can happen again. And it's like, that doesn't bring excitement. It just shows you, if a fighter does evolve and gets better, and they get to that space that they need to be in, you guys don't want to let go of the past. So in that sense, you still expecting, the past to come back and haunt that fighter. And it can happen to people. But I'll say, for Dubois, he looked good in his win. He needed it. I was never impressed by Jarell Miller. And like I said, guys like Charles Martin, guys like, Gerald Washington, like that's the type of guys, the Duhomp is like those level guys. That's the type of fighters that's his level. Like, he can beat those guys. But when it comes to elite level guys and all this shit he's talking, he's beat none of these. He hasn't beat any elite level guy. And the fact that for him to sit here and say, I want to fight, he said, then he goes, I want to fight a Brit, but he goes, I want Derek Chisora, I want Dillian White, and I want Manuel Char. And out of all of the names that's out there, that would give you far more credibility. Like I said last video, the only name out of those three that you mentioned that people might maybe have an interest to see you in, maybe would be with Dillian White. Nobody cares to see you fight Derek Chisora. Nobody cares to see you fight no Manuel Char. And in fact, the fact that, he talked all of this shit, and then he goes, next time we'll be in better shape and all this and that. It's like, man, see, this is what I don't like about shit talkers, because even in all that shit that you were talking, you thought this man was going to break, and you was just going to bully him around, and he's going to be too small. You think that you're too big for everybody, but the reality is you can't box. You're just another guy, one-dimensional, and just depending on your size. I don't like bullies anyway. And the fact that he calls himself a bully, yeah, well, you're proud to be called a bully, Mr. I'm a Muslim. But yeah, so bottom line is Dubois did what he did. Dubois supposed to say he wanted to fight AJ or whoever else is at the top. He's supposed to want to fight these guys, The thing is, just back up what you're supposed to do. Stand on your business. Go in there and fight for real. Go in there and understand every fight's a different challenge, and understand when you go in there, don't look past the opponent, because you can start, okay, that was a big win, and then no, don't be like the rest of these guys and start singing one fighter's name out, and then you jump in the ring with another guy, you still talking about the other guy that you're not in the ring with. Don't do what Miller did to you, because Miller was talking like you was trash and he was looking past you. And it's not the reason he lost. The reason he lost is because you are the better fighter. Okay, it's as simple as that. And Dubois, he earned his keep. So I'm just glad that he won that fight. And it's not personally, but just to look at what boxing is and how people are so accepting of these clowns, and they think all this goofy big mouth shit is that's what boxing needs, and people pay to see, because they like to see excitement. I certain things you say is just not necessary. What's that guy Don Charles? He wouldn't even shake his hand. He said nah. He said a bunch of inappropriate shit. And I agree with him. Dubois shook his hand. They hugged it out and all, and dapped each other up. But Don Charles was like, nah. And I agree with them. And I completely understand. Some of this shit that a lot of these fighters just say and do are classless and unnecessary. And the reality is, All it is a boxing match. And the fact that boxing allowed this circus show bullshit, and they act as if this is like, oh shit, he called him a bitch ass nigga. Let me order the pay-per-view. So why'd you order this pay-per-view? Because he called him a bitch ass nigga. I want to see what he gonna say in return. Nah, I'm focused on the boxing. I'm focused on what happens in the ring. So if you think that being a gentleman makes you soft, well, then Waleem got his ass whooped by a soft gentleman last night. Wilder got his ass whooped by a soft gentleman last night. Talking shit don't win you the fight. The skills do. Plain and simple. So, salute to Daniel Dubois for doing the job like he was supposed to. And honestly, I don't care if I ever see Jarell Miller fight anybody again. You know, I just don't like his personality, the way that that disposition of I don't like shit talkers. I don't like big mouths. I never did. I never really like big mouths. And I'm not talking about somebody that's confident in their ability to back their shit up and they actually go in there and fight the top people and win. I'm not talking about that. Because even if you fight the top people and lose, but hey, cut the shit, man. Hey, at some point, hey, look, man, I say a lot of shit to sell tickets and all to try to, you know, but I don't hate any of these guys, you know, and deep down I wish them nothing but the best. No, but I don't like when you calling dudes pussies and bitch ass niggas and talking about fucking their mothers and just saying a bunch of dumb ignorant shit. That doesn't, I just don't like certain shit, and I don't like bullies at all. I never have, and I've always fucked bullies up my whole life. I never like bullies. I never like people that, you know, you talk about trying to sell tickets, but man, you know, if I don't like you, I don't like you. I won't shake your hand. I'll spit on you. Like I'll take it there. Like I want the smoke. That yeah. If I don't like you, I don't like you. So I'm not gonna call you a bitch ass nigga. I would never invite another man to my dick. And then on top of that, for me to sit here talk about fucking your mom and just all this shit, then I'm gonna tell you, yeah, I just said it for the camera. Nah. So salute to Don Charles, man, for not shaking his fucking hand. Salute to him for standing on his integrity, man, and his honor and respect, because that's what it's about. We got to fight, let's fight. We can sit here and have lunch together, chill. We like the same movies, dap each other up. I'm going to fuck you up during the fight. As soon as we done, whatever, you come from the hospital, I go pick you up, everything. We chill. We get back to being friends now. But we're not going to play this game of, you know, all this unnecessary nonsense. But, yeah, Big Pharmacy Miller, you know, all the shit he talked, like he told AJ, you ducking everybody. AJ said, who have I ducked? He said, look at my record. He said, I was going to fight you. Yeah, he's ducking everybody, but he's going to fight you. No, and that's my thing. I don't respect any fighter that tries to eat food off somebody else's plate, try to, you know, skip the line and put themselves in a position, you know, where they haven't earned anything, but they've talked their way into a spotlight. I don't respect that. And for you to call somebody a ducker, who the fuck have you fought? Now go ahead and say people was ducking you. If you hadn't have fucking been in the pharmacy so long, you wouldn't have been bad for 4 years. So that's how that goes. But what's next for Dubois, we'll see. One fight at a time, but he looked good last night, man. And I really salute Dubois for what he did. And, you know, he got the win. So salute you for that. Anyway, usually I salute both fighters. Not this time. Talk to me in the comment section, y'all. What y'all think about Dubois and Miller last night? Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all on the next video.